In this video, I'm going to share with you Galileo Technologies, a new marketing system to generate consumer direct real estate leads that are exclusive to you. I actually ran a 1,000 text campaign this last weekend with a real estate agent. There was a new listing in my neighborhood, and we generated 50 leads that we're now following up with. So check out the video. Let me know what you think.
Cool. Thanks. Hey, everybody. I'm Jay. I'm the founder of Galileo. Scott, thanks for having us over. Fidelity's taken a big interest in Galileo. We are a compliant text delivery company, so we deliver text. We do it in a way that you can do no opt-in text. And so it took me a couple years and a lot of money with our attorneys to get this approval, but we are 10 DLC approved. Has anybody heard about the 10 DLC yet? So the 10 DLC is like Dodd-Frank in 2010 for the mortgage industry. It just changed the landscape on a compliant level. I think what Dodd-Frank did for the mortgage industry actually cleaned it up, and it did add some cost to it, but it cleaned it up, and I think it's worth the cost for having a bunch of good actors out there. The 10 DLC is owned by the cell phone companies. The Sprint, AT&T, T-Mobile, these guys all got together and said, we're going to build a registry that if you want to use our lines to communicate with our consumers via text, you have to be approved. And it's a problem for a lot of our competitors. Companies like Phone Burner, Mojo Dialer, these guys all got turned off. They're back on, but they just didn't know that they had to follow this. And it was kind of under the radar. Our attorneys, we have some in-house counsel that saw this as a problem 4 years ago and got us in it, and we used our kind of first to market to help build the platform that we have today. And so what we are able to do with Galileo is cold call with text. And you can't do that with any of our competitors because you'll need double opt-in written consent. And the way that we do that is we scrub every record through the do not call list, and we send every message by hand. Every message that goes out of our system, a human being hits a send button somewhere in the world, and it's delivered compliantly. So that is the basis of our product.
So can you bolt that into your CRM so that the text is all coming through the
Who do you
CRM?
use?
Mine's high level.
Not high level yet. We have Follow-Up Boss. We have an API with that. We have an API going with KV Core. We're big with EXP right now because of some of the connections that Fidelity brought us. And they're also concerned with text. Like that's a big thing. Like some of their leaders up top were concerned with that. We will look at higher level. I like that product. It's actually a really cool product, man. As a tech guy, I saw that product and I was like,
It does everything.
it really does. It's a little pricey for my taste, but it's a really good product. All right, so compliant text delivery, right? We scrub everything. We do compliant outbound calls too. We also have an in-house call center. So if you want us to nurture your leads for you, we can. And I encourage it because what I'm going to show you is most realtors and loan officers don't do what I'm about to show you. And it's just time, guys. It's not like a dig on you. I was what you did before, and I didn't want to call those leads either because I got new leads yesterday, and my manager was like, dude, call your new leads. And that's the cycle that we got into, is a doom loop. But I can make you a market, guys, in 24 hours anywhere in America using our Radius campaign. And again, because we're able to cold call with text, you give me the location of your listing. We can send out a coming soon, open house, new listing, recent closed, and or recent pending. What we do is we pinpoint the area, we digitally canvas the entire neighborhood, we scrub it through the do not call list, we aggregate 1,000 records, so that bubble may be expandable. If I'm up in Shingle Springs, that's like a 6-mile bubble. If I'm in San Francisco on Beale Street, that's a 1/10 of a mile, right? So it just depends geographically where you're at. But the cool thing is, and you will see on campaigns that we just ran less than an hour ago, that it yields dynamic results. And for And Leanna can share with you a quick script that'll walk you through how easy it is to pull these guys in. So we send out these messages, they're compliant. In each message, there is a call to action. Speed to lead has been indoctrinated to us as realtors and loan officers by none other than the people we buy the leads from. So Zillow invented speed to lead. It wasn't us, it was them. And they did it by design because they sell that lead to 10 other people. So you got to get on the phone first, and if you're not, you're beating up somebody who's already gotten called 10 times and you're at the other end of that. It sucks. So what we've done is we've created exclusive opportunities. I don't sell your clicks or your replies, your interest points to your competitors. So they're exclusive. Any campaign that you do is all yours. When we send out the campaign, there's a call to action. The call to action has a link or a reply. So reply yes for a flyer, click link for picks and pricing. If they see that and they align with that, they'll perform. It's a permission-based marketing platform. All that means is we only talk to the people that raise their hand. I have been running call centers my entire career. 23 years of my life have been building these gigantic call centers. And one of my mortgage companies had about 125 loan officers up in Rockland at that Oracle building. And it worked similar for us back then, but just the tech has come so far that I don't need 120 people anymore. I need like 3. And it's the AI behind our system is what moves the data around and kind of nudges you. So you click call to action, you'll get a lead alert. The lead alert comes to your phone, you click on it. It's mobile responsive, so you don't even need to download an app. We built it in Facebook's React technology, so it responds to any device across any platform, and you don't need to download an app. You also don't need to pay a monthly subscription with us. So I'm not going to get in your pocket every month for $200. It's pay for play, and it works so well that people come back again and again and again. And we like it that way. You know, if you want to make a market, we could open up a radius in anywhere you want to go. So if you want to start a new market in Midtown, you find a new listing. We create a Cato page for that new listing, right? It would be this technology with pictures of the property, a video. Here's your bomb right here, right? Here's your bomb. With Galileo's targeted text campaign, you can communicate with everybody in a specific zone. It's 100% compliant, no opt-in needed, and there's no monthly subscription. And here's how it works. So you have the bonbon effect there. I think you could see how you could quickly use this to send it out. It complements our product really well. You have a lot of the same features to quantify your activity in this. With our product, anytime you do a campaign, and I'll show you guys some of these campaigns. You go into campaigns in the upper right-hand corner. You're going to see a dashboard. Each these tiles represents, this is an aggregate total. I have the admin view, so I see everything that's in there. If it was just you, you'd see only your campaigns. You got replies, clicks, and favorites, and you kind of follow the bouncing ball here. My team sits in here when we're doing calls for you. My team sits in here when we get something really hot. We'll put a favorite on it and drop a note in it. And you can see, we just sent this one out this morning. Mikasa is a new listing that is not Mikasa's. It's somebody else's, but they have a new agent who is trying to make a market. And so what we did was we sent out this message to 1,000 people this morning. I think it was around 10 o'clock when it went out. And then here's the message that you see. So here's the message that we send to everybody. New listing, 3625 Quinn, North Highlands, first time buyer, 1% down, payment eligible, price to sell, 400K, move in ready, click link for picks or price. Here's your call to action. When the consumer clicks on this, it goes to here, which is, I think it's a Cato. Let's take a look. Boom. There's your Cato. There's your property. You can call from in here. You can pop that video up there, so there's plenty of room there. I don't own Cato. I'm really good friends with the CEO, and they connected us. And they connected us because these products work amazing together. We do these webinars. The last one we did, there was 160 realtors on this webinar from all over the United States. It was pretty cool, and you can do this anywhere. Like I'm a broker in Colorado as well, so I can go into Lodo right now in Denver, find a listing, drop it for one of my realtors there, and I can make a market for them in 24 hours. And that's what we're doing with this, because if you look down here, and then look back there, you'll see that my son is a realtor. He's under my license. I own Mikasa. Mikasa is the first search by payment property search site. And my son just graduated college and needs to make some money. So he got his license, and we're going to make him some money. And it's just that easy. We send out a campaign. Leanna gets on the phone. Hey, you clicked on the pictures. Here's how the script goes. You guys, that video that you showed was perfect, because I'm going to give you the exact same thing that we do. They click through. We don't even say Gary. It's just you clicked. Hi, this is Leanna. You just clicked through to my new listing. What did you think of the photos? That's it. Would you like to see the house? Okay, what are you looking for? It's that simple. They just clicked. It's personal, it's relevant, and somewhat anticipated. If I click something on the internet, there's a pretty good chance I'm going to get a phone call from somebody. So you're setting it up as a permission marketing campaign. And you do that, you'll get leads out of it, guaranteed. We do it every single day. We have an office down here in Roseville, 341 Lincoln. You can come there anytime you want, and you can watch us in action. You can bring your customers there. If you're a listing agents are using Arcado to get listings, because they're the first ones to sit down with these people to show them Galileo and at the same time. So they'll go, we're going to do a campaign for you, and then I'm going to show you through our reporting on a daily basis what I'm going to quantify your thing. So look, we've got a 2.3% click-through, typical marketing campaigns, 0.5%. This may get to that because it's new. It's like everything else in this industry. Once somebody gets a hold of it, it spreads like wildfire. HomeBot, great product, flash in the pan. Like HomeBot's done, man. It's over. They gave it to everybody too soon. So I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. I'm only going to have 1,000 people on our platform. That's it. And we're at 945 today. So once we get to 1,000, we lock it down, and then we're going to start to really manage the people that are on our site. If you're working it, then you can stay. If you're not, we're going to bring on somebody who works the system. The nurturing process is based on 3-day logic, and if we do the nurturing for you, like there's 3 products that we have, and I'll show you the products that we have. And again, Cato. So here's our products. Sorry, man, I got a touch screen on mine, so I'm so used to just marking it up. So the products that we sell are pretty simple, right? The most you're going to pay is $250. That's a 60-day nurturing cycle. The middle one's the one everybody buys. It's the $200. Again, we're not going to charge you on a monthly basis. It goes 30 days. The basic is a do-it-yourself, has the logic built in, but we're going to nudge you and say, hey, Gary, go tell this guy this thing. And we're going to tell you the thing to tell him. All you have to do is hit the button, because compliantly, you have to hit the button or we have to hit the button. That's just the way it works. If you do get double opt-in, and we're always trying to get double opt-in, we can put them in a more AI-centric workflow, and I don't need a human being touching that. And our goal is to get everybody opted in so we can have just a simple AI workflow. But until then, we have to hit the button personally. So the logic is this: if they click through, we're going to follow up on your behalf through the Fidelity network that we've created. we're actually going to follow up with an icebreaker. The icebreaker says, thanks for taking a look at my open house. What did you think of the photos? Same thing Leanna says when she gets on the phone. That is a qualifier. If it's a homeowner, they're going to say, I like it, but mine's better. Always. Almost always. If it's a buyer, they're going to say, I like it, I want to see it, or I like it, but, and then everything after is your buyer's qualifications. They're telling you what they want. Again, permission marketing. They're just telling you exactly what they want. So you could quickly call them up and go, well, you know, what can you afford on a monthly basis, right? And just work the math backwards and then do a quick search and go, well, we got 40 properties that you can qualify for. Would you like to see them? Yes, give me your email. Awesome. And then you build your profile and start dripping. And then if you guys use us, I just ask that you put our team on a CC so we can see every drip that comes through. What we do when we get those is we call and go, hey, Gary, did you see that one on 3rd Street? That's exactly what you want. Can I connect you with Gary so you guys can make a meeting and go check it out? Yep, okay, cool. And then Leanna puts schedule, pops in a note, you get a lead alert, you read the note, and move out. That's it. Any questions on any of this?
When it sends out the text, what numbers are you using?
It's an 800 number. It's approved by the 10 DLC. That's a great question because there's a lot of compliance in this. So you can't use local area codes anymore to market. If you want to use your own personal cell phone to send a text, that's cool. You can do that all day long. You have no compliance needed as a personal cell phone user to send a text to somebody else. Once you are established as a business, you need the 10 DLC approval. So that is out. You can't spoof numbers anymore. No more spoofing. I can't send you something that says this number, but I'm calling from somebody else. And everything has to be scrubbed, guys. The smartest thing you can do is I charge you 3 cents a record. Send me all your data. I'll send it back to you clean. Here's what's good. Here's what's bad. Just go after the good. Do not call anybody on the do not call list. That's worth saying again. Just don't do it, please, because that is the federal statute, and it's called the TCPA, and they'll hit you with a fine, and they ain't playing. California has the same thing. It's called the CCPA. They have kind of more like a fix-it ticket. So if you get caught by California, they'll say, hey, you can't be doing this. You know, you got to fix it, and then you fix it and show it to them, and they'll not fine you. And then you've got the 10 DLC, and if you're not approved with them and you are Mojo Dialer and try to make a phone call, you'll see that you're not getting through to anybody and you got a problem. So it's a really important thing just to be on a compliant level, scrub your records to the do not call list, and if you're gonna send text not using me, just use your phone. When I started Galileo, I had bought a subscription with Realtor.com. And I bought all these zip codes here in Sacramento, and I was paying like $3,200 a month, and I own a call center, and I'm pretty good at my job, and I couldn't get anybody on the damn phone. And a year went by, and I got maybe 2 deals out of this investment, and I was pissed off, and I just started texting people. I made a little template on my phone that said, you recently showed some interest in this house. Are you still in the market? Yes for info or stop. And I sent out about 5,000 texts. My son was helping me, my nephew was helping me, we had another guy that was helping me. So 4 or 5 of us did it over the course of 2 weeks, about 5,000 texts. I got 435 people to say yes. And I quit my job as a broker that day and started building Galileo. I knew we had something. So building call centers, guys, you have to have predictive models in everything that you do. So I train my people, if they get a click, you say this. And when you say that, one of 3 things is possible. And when those one of 3 things hits, you follow the branch that does that. And what Scott was talking about was that. So I'll show you, actually, I'll go into one of these. So let's go into Mikasa. Boom. And I'm going to click through.
Can you go broader than 1,000 records per list?
You sure can. It's our minimum order, so we keep it that way. But I've had people buy 20,000 records for. There's a lot of excitement behind this. I would urge you to tone that, right? Like this is cold calling with the text. The fish ain't jumping in the boat, guys. you got to do some work. And so these guys that are super excited about this, they'll buy 20, 30,000 records, they'll do a bunch of campaigns, and they'll have so many leads that they get, spillage happens. They just can't get to them all. So in something like this, what you'll see is we'll send, thanks for looking at my new listing. We'll just do this, right? We'll go new listing 4, right? And again, we wait 3 days. If they don't reply to that, we pick up the phone. This is if you guys buy the $50 or the $200 or $250. We pick up the phone. We call on your behalf. We represent ourselves as your personal assistant. So, hi, this is Jay, I'm Gary's personal assistant. I noticed that you looked at our open house last week. What'd you think of the photos? Everybody is clicking for one reason, and it ain't you, I promise. It's the pictures and the price. That's all they're looking for. So we appeal to that, and then we stay on that track. What I mean by that is, don't say anything about yourself until they say yes to something like 3 deep, right? You have to get them to open up. What'd you think about the pics? What would you put in here? Tell me about your situation, right? Oh, by the way, have you been pre-approved? If you're a lender, you do not want to come out the gate saying that you're a lender. Sorry, bro. Nobody wants to talk loans until it's time to talk loans. So if you jump the shark, they X out and you lose the opportunity. Once they write stop, it's over. I don't get to talk to them. Our system is, the logic is already baked in, and I can send them anything I want, but it's not going to go. The follow the bouncing ball methodology has worked for me in my brokerages and my businesses for 20 years. And it's just simple if then. If they say yes, send a flyer, follow up in 2 days. If they say no, send a flyer, follow up in 2 days, right? If they say go F yourself, remove. Simple, right? That's the logic. And if you use that logic, you can start to create like a build, measure, learn scenario where I'm looking at these responses and I can quantify the replies, and I can go, well, that's not getting me the net that I want, so let me tweak it a little bit. And what Scott's probably noticed in the last year that we've been working, we couldn't get a listing campaign to go over 0.5% until like 3 months ago. And now they're hitting 6%. But it just took a bunch. And what we realized is that in the listing side, people want to know data. They would just, that video that you showed is statistically what we've seen is consumers really start to activate after the 5th touch. So our 6th touch just gets you to that. Like that's all we're trying to do is force you to get to 6 touches. And we're doing some cool marketing thing now where we got your 6 or something like that. Like we got your back, but we got your 6. And it just forces you to change your perspective on this. I got to be honest, building these call centers that I've built in the past, I used to pride ourselves on one call closes. And what I realize now is somebody did the groundwork for me and I got them on the 5th or 6th attempt and I just got lucky. I built some big companies just being really damn lucky. And I don't think that luck or hope should be a part of my business plan. And so this is the model that we use to pull us out of that luck stage. So you do get a lot of first passes that'll hit, but as to your point, you get better leads deeper into the conversation because those people are actually asking real buying or selling questions. Yes, ma'am.
I know, and this may be a little further down the road, but what I'm envisioning is, let's say you've got a listing in Folsom, and you'd like the phone numbers to every non-owner occupant within that area, because you know that those are people that are renting, they're paying a lot of money in rent, they might be interested in purchasing. So that would be a great, if somebody had that technology.
We do. We have it. Actually, we do it with Scott all the time. So you go to Scott for the non-occupying owners,
Right.
and then you give me that list. I'll append it through our cell phone database.
Okay, that's
And I should have mentioned this, guys. So, yes, sir?
Oh, go ahead. No, you're probably going to answer it.
I was going to say one of our first angel investors owns a national data warehouse, and so she invested in our company because she saw that her clients could also use our product and have some success. And it's not just real estate that we do everything. If you're a consumer direct, you want to announce a sale for your pop-up, I can let everybody in the neighborhood know. During COVID, just down here on where there's a little shopping center, and that company hit me up and said, I want to announce all the COVID stuff. And I just started my company. I was like the only guy, and I did all these campaigns just to let people know about the hours of operation and the COVID stuff. So it applies to just about anything. When you buy data from us, you can filter. I'd have to show you on my computer because I don't know the login. You can't. So today it's a wholesale experience. You got to hop on a Zoom with me. We got to open up the map, find the location. We'll actually do either a radius or like a polygon. We do a lot of business on the island, so you are limited with water. So we'll do the coastline and then up into the mountain area, and that's kind of how you do polygon or radius. The thing that Scott mentioned with the Corfax, this was something that we didn't really think was going to be anything for us, but there are a lot of realtors who use postcards, and they're pretty expensive. And our product's really inexpensive. So you send me the digital image of your postcard, and I put it on Canva, take that link, put it in our system. That's what goes into the text, the call to action. They click on that, it goes to your postcard, and you reduce the postage. Right. So it's a lot cheaper for you to send a text, get the same message out, and now you can quantify your direct mail because whoever clicks through, you got their name and number. So you can see down to the penny what your return is on that direct mail piece, where I did direct mail in my early career. That's all I did, hundreds of thousands of dollars a month in direct mail, and the only way that I could quantify it was what we closed at the end of the month. And it was kind of like you know what I mean? But it was still... That's the thing with direct mail. It's so hard to quantify. There's all these different like pearl strings and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, they have to do something. They have to go to a website, enter a number. This is click. I'm looking at your thing. I get a message. I call you. Hey, Katie, you just looked at my flyer. What'd you think? Are you looking at selling? Are you looking at buying? What's going on? Oh, yeah, my brother's thinking about moving by me. This is the kind of conversations that we have, and it's on like constant with us. I can afford $2,500 a month. We do the math. Hey, we got 12 properties in that area. Would you like to see them? Yes, cool. Let me call Gary. He can show you some of those properties. That's just how it works. It's super easy. It's extremely affordable. The compliant piece is the big thing, guys. We're the only company in America right now that has no opt-in 10 DLC approval. We were able to get the approval. That was like 2 years ago, 18 months ago. And after we got that, every single message went out, and it just hockey sticked with the response rate. So we were sitting at about a 2% before the approval, and that meant that maybe T-Mobile would let our stuff go or Sprint would let our stuff go, but AT&T and Verizon wouldn't, right? So we were getting pieces of it. Now we're seeing 6, 9, 12% response rates. It's amazing. 200. It was, that was the biggest one. It was a Hawaii, and that lady didn't go into the campaign. Just did it to send it out, and I called her up. I was like, you got 220 people that want to buy that house. There's 219 people that you can sell another house to. What are you doing? And she was like, I just wanted people to come to my open house. And I was like, was it good? She was like, it was amazing. And I'm like, well, that's awesome. But there's more to it than that, So Gary, for a team like you, man, this is something where you could hire people. I can recruit people for you. I can train people for you. This has a lot of applications for super brokers, and you could put this into your system and see some serious results. It does add value. New agents need a lot of help. This will make a market for them. You can send them to my office, and they can sit in there and listen to us cold call just so they can learn their scripts. We do that all the time. I built a company for a gentleman by the name of Kurt Reisig like 12 years ago. It's called AP Connect. And in that system, I built a little call center, and they would call your Zillow leads. So their loan officers would partner with a realtor with Zillow, and then we would get in there and call those leads. And it was pretty suppressed because it's a really old bank, and these guys were hypersensitive to compliance, and innovation was like, we'll just wait to see what everybody else does, and we don't want to get caught up in anything. And so I would make appointments. I was employee number one, kind of getting the scripts going, figuring out how we could scale this. And I'd make appointments for a realtor to go show a property. And I'd call that guy back and go, yeah, hey, how'd the showing go? And they go, oh, you didn't tell me if they were pre-approved or not. So I didn't show up. And I'd be like, fuck, man. So, and that happened on repeat a lot. And so I'm a broker. So I'm like, well, I'm just going to go show this guy this property, man. Like if I can do a courtesy showing and just get some info from him, I can get him off the street and into our ecosystem and away from somebody else. And that's kind of how we're going to work with you guys. We have a welcome package, kind of generic, that tells the client when you go to see them, this is a courtesy showing. We're going to do it once, but when you come back to the next one, we need this information from you, and it's something you can hand off, a full package you can hand off to your lender to get pre-approved. And so you feel a little bit more comfortable. And if they don't bring it back, you know what you got. You got a looky-loo. They're not trying to do anything, so you can make your decision and walk away with a clear conscience.
Another benefit with this product too is I have two agents that actually include this in their listing presentation, and they've gotten listings away from other agents because they're doing the texting.
You leave this,
Yeah,
leave this with your guys, and what they'll see is there's just a bunch of info in here that they can measure you by, right? And it's something that other people aren't doing, and it shows that you're investing in their listing to get it sold. So I'm going to put $150 and I'm going to do this campaign, and then I'm going to show you the results on a daily basis because I can quantify based on our dashboard, right? It'll just be your stuff, so it's pretty easy to see. If you want to break it up here, you can open it up. If you've got multiple campaigns, you can break it up. But you can show this to your seller and go, these are all the people that click through. I've called every single one of them. Here's what we're doing. And then let's go back to the last thing real quick, and I'll close it down for you guys. This new feature that we just launched is called Next Action. And you take the logic that I just mentioned, the 6-step follow-up. It's a text or a call every 3 days, not including weekends, or you calendar, right? So it's if then. If they click through and you talk to them and they hang up, it's a 3-day follow-up. If you talk to them and they say, call me back in 6 months, you calendar it and you call back. And we just discussed that this morning. It's a new piece that we're going to do. But when you go into Next Action, you'll see that there's a dialer in here. You can actually use a phone within our system to call these people. Here's the dialer right here, right?
Does the calendar feature work within your site?
It will. So this is brand spanking new, but what you could see is Roger whatever click through and then view pics, please, right? So this guy wants to see the pics. He's afraid to click the button. So Leanna's going to call him back and say, hey, dude, we got a better link. I'm going to drop it in here. Don't be afraid. It's okay. Check it out. And then she'll be on the phone when he gets it because it's dynamic. The text will be in his phone instantly. He clicks on it, and she can go, what'd you think of the pics? And would you like to see this property? What'd you think? What are you looking for? Tell me your life story. And then they do. And that's the same thing we've all been doing. This just makes it really easy. With this, here's what happens. You come in here, do it yourself action. You look at this guy, you call him, you dispo it. It's a callback, 3 days, right? The calendar thing is going to be down here somewhere. I haven't even discussed that with my developer yet. And
So right now I would just calendar it my other site.
you'd have to kind of calendar it yourself. It is a lean product and it's a startup, guys. So we're always adding stuff and we're always pulling stuff out. We use feedback from our customers to build the perfect product. We got a minimum viable product into the marketplace like 3 years ago that didn't look anything like this. It was just it was just super clunky, and like I wasn't really making any money on it. I was kind of giving it away to my friends for free just to get the feedback. And it works amazing now. So if I go in here and dispo this guy, you see this little green button right here? that's like an indicator that's a new lead. And once I click that, you'll see that it disappears, right? So that this is telling you that your task for the day on this campaign is done. So you can come down here and go, oh, here's Roy Machado. You guys know Roy? Cool guy down in SAC. He does campaigns with me a couple, 3, 4 times a week, just new listings. He doesn't ask for the follow-up. It's just to get the message out there. His people inside make these phone calls and do whatever they do. We don't mess with if you buy a basic campaign, we're not going to look at it. It's just going to go out and you do what you do. Our stuff will be there. The green buttons will be there. So if I come in here and go, I left this guy a voicemail, right? Boom, boom. And then you're done with that task. It moves to the next one. You can call this guy. You can leave a note here. The notes will now have an anchor point. So if it's an important note, we'll click a little button and say go to Gary. And when we hit submit, you'll get that text so you know it's something happened in the call center that you need to be aware of. And then when you click that button, the same as the lead alert, it takes you back to this note and you read it. Oh, call this guy at 3 o'clock. Thank you. That's it, right? It's all you're going to get from our call centers, just those kind of nudges. We're not going to close these deals for you. I don't have licensed people. My son's a licensed realtor, but he's not going to do licensed. He's not talking licensed stuff for you. We're not talking price. We're not talking rate. We're talking pictures. And do you want to go see this property? And if they say no, what are you looking for? Well, we got a kid on the way. We need 5 bedrooms. That's only 4. We need a pool. We need RV parking. Anything after the but. I like it, but we need. You're just writing that stuff down. And my team does that. Sends you a message. You can build a profile. Again, leave us in that. If you want us to follow up on these drips, we'll follow up on them for you. Again, all we're trying to do is get that person to fall in love with something in that list that day. So every single time we get a drip, we're calling these people, identifying a really appealing piece of property and pointing that out and going, hey, Eric, man, this is exactly what you wanted. We got to go see this. When are you available? And then get them to go see the property. And you guys know if somebody goes to see a property, they're 90% likely to buy a property, hopefully from you. But if they don't go see it, they're maybe a 30% chance that they're going to buy, right? So getting them to the property is the key, and our team does that for you. And we're very effective. I mean, the scripts work for us. It's all based on scripts and follow-ups, guys. That's it. That's the nurturing game itself. The challenge is salespeople just don't have time. That's it. 80% of consumers buy after the 5th touch. 10% of salespeople make more than 2 touches. So you're leaving this delta in between that is game for your competitors. And that's the business that we're in. That's the life cycle that we're in today. This is going to help you pull out of that. And now you get just to make your own. We test everything. We test, we measure, and we either persevere or we pivot and find the next opening. And it's constant in this. In our situation, it's constant. We're just constantly evolving. I think the best thing that we've done is created a lead source that you have that's exclusive. That's why I want to keep it small. Because if I give it out to everybody, then there's no exclusivity in this. It just becomes a pumpkin in a pumpkin patch, and you got to fight. The race to the bottom ensues, right? You don't want to give up margin. You don't want to give up your commission. And that's kind of what happens in this scenario is at the end of the transaction, you're crediting back because that's just the way it goes. In this situation, you're getting net new people that haven't talked to anybody that you know of, right? Because you're sending out a blank, this is a cold call, and you're getting this amazing response from it. The key is, why'd you click, right? So you just got to be really gentle. I can show you examples of what not to do. Don't send the girlfriend, I'm breaking up with you, long text. Like, you don't want to do that. And a lot of people they want to tell you everything. With us, it's breadcrumbs. You want to do one question. What'd you think of the photos? I liked them. Awesome. What part of town do you want to live in? I like Greenhaven. Cool. How many beds and baths do you need? I need a 3-2 with RV parking. Well, what's your email? Let me send you some listings. And then as soon as I send them, I call and go, those are exactly what you wanted for the price you wanted. Let's get out and start seeing this. And then the test is there, right? Are you a looky-loo or are you a real buyer? That's it. So it makes it really, really simple. Our team makes it really easy to create a market. And with us, you only buy the lead once. So as you find a territory that you want to lock in at, you start doing new listings. Doesn't have to be yours. We'll make a Cato page for you. We can add your image to it. Totally legit. And then as you buy those, at one point you'll cross over and have that entire area, and you only have to do it one campaign at a time. So you don't need to buy it all at once. You can just go, I'm going to make a decision to own El Dorado Hills, and go find a new listing in each part of it, and we'll have full coverage. And then you farm that every month or every other month. Just find a new listing every other month. Once you get a close or a pending, put it out in the market. Recent pending, 9 days to get into pending, 35 groups through, multiple offers, accepted a cash over asking. Click link for picks or stop. And we get 6% return on that. And these are only homeowners. So we'll isolate homeowners, not everybody. So we just get the homeowner, we send it out to them, and then they're raising their hand, and you call them and go, so what'd you think of that house? Well, mine's this, this, and this. Well, what do you think your house is worth? It's this. Well, what's your email? Let me send you a CMA, and I'll let you know if you're leaving any money on the table. That's it. Really, really easy too.
I hope you liked this video. I hope that you start marketing using Galileo. Again, it's not like anything I've ever used before. It's consumer direct, outbound text marketing, and it's a great, great system. So if you learned something in this video, or if you thought it was helpful, or if you have any questions about the system itself, please leave a comment down below, like the video, and subscribe to my channel for the next one.